Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. There are some watchmen and people expecting the rapture today, 29th April. Some is watching for the 30th. Well, that's not to be, not to be. Jesus said, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Now you need to know when it began and when it will end. That is the key to the answer. I will discuss that in the next video for you. So it's not the rapture today, but Abba Father marries Israel on the third day, which is a type of the rapture. It's a type of the rapture. So here's Exodus 19 verse 1. It says in the third month. Now when is the third month? We are currently in the first month. Ignore March as the first month. It's not a false month. That was a false one. Currently we are in the first month. We are in the third day. The third day. Oh, it's tonight 6 o'clock, and it's already on my clock. It already started 6 minutes past 6, yeah? 6 p.m., 1800 hours. That's when the third day is, it's actually currently the third day of unleavened bread. And it's also the third day of Abba Father's calendar. Yahweh's calendar. We are in the third week. It started, of course, the 13th of April. There was the new moon. That was the new moon. So on the 14th day was Passover. So we're currently starting the third week of the first month in Abba's calendar. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, Genesis 1 verse 14 is Abba's calendar. And I always use, many people ask what calendar I'm using. I just check out the stellarium. It is 100% on time. God's calendar is not out of proportion. It is right on time. Okay, in the third month, when it's around about June is about the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. Then I'm going to verse 3. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did unto Egypt, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you out unto myself. Wow. Now therefore, this is the key, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice, please take note, people, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for the earth is mine. Now in Exodus 23, from verse 20 onwards to the end, God, Abba Father, gave us 7 blessings, an incentive if we obey his commandments, if we obey his voice. And that is to honor his feast. It is not the Jewish feast. It is not the Jewish feast. It is Abba's feast. Okay? So let's turn now to verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. Yes, and of course verse 19:11, and be ready against the third day. For the third day, the third day, the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And remember, it's the third month and the third day. The first 3 days, that was the third day. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about. Now let's go to verse 16 here. So, yeah, okay. And of course, what the people said, and Moses carried it on to the people, and the people say they will do whatever the Father is required. Yeah. And okay, so they said they will do, but when they actually saw the quake, the fire, the trembling, they got so fearful. They said to Moses, no. You speak with God and we will hear you. They absolutely refused. And actually it came then on to the pass on the third day in the morning that there were thundering and lightning and thick cloud upon the mount, and the voices of trumpets exceeding loud, so that the people that was in the camp trembled. The people, I'm telling you, the Bible say that it will be a secret. Many people say the rapture will be a secret. It will not be a secret. The Bible say clearly, every eye will see Yeshua in the clouds. And I'm telling you, when they hear that trumpet, they will tremble. They will tremble. And because of that, great revival actually will follow after the coming rapture. That is a fact. Yes, so they would tremble. And let's go to verse 19. Verse 19. Yeah. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by the voice. That's all I want to share with you. Let's go to my notes on that matter. Let's go to my notes. Okay, cut that piece out. And let's go to my notes. Let's go to the current. Let's turn to the notes here. Yeah. Yahweh marries Israel, type of the rapture, descended upon Mount Sinai with a quake, fire, just what I mentioned in the scriptures there, with a quake, with fire, smoke, and lightning, and the trumpets blowing. We will say this is a type of the rapture. And where do we see that? In the book of Revelation. That we see at the sixth seal. It is at the sixth seal when the rapture will occur. Of course, we will see the same when Jesus died on the cross. There was an earthquake. Yes, there was the sun turned into darkness. And that day there was a red moon. It is not in scripture, but there was a full moon, and the moon was red on that day. How that could be, we do not explain. But some other books outside from the Bible say that it was a red moon. Now, Abba came on the third day. Why the third day? The third day, of course, is not a Tuesday, people, as we may think. That is in the Gregorian calendar. We're looking at Abba's calendar. As I explained today, this is the third day of another week in the third week of Abba's calendar in the first month. Now, normally the third day is actually from the beginning, 3 days after the new moon. That is the third day. And God said, count it from the 14th day, that will be Passover. So on the 15th, that will be the first day, or the evening, of course, it starts 6 p.m. and that will begin the 7th day. Jesus died on the 6th day. On the 4th, that was the 14th day, was the 6th day. Jesus died 3 o'clock the afternoon, and the evening at 6 p.m. was the preparation of the Sabbath. That was the 7th day on day 15. And day 15 ends then on day 16, and day 16, the first day, then commences then on. That will be the first day. Then that will be a new week again, and that's the same. Jesus was raised on the 3rd day, not on the first day of the week, not at all. Yeah. Okay. Now Abba came on the 3rd day. Why on the 3rd day? There is a double blessing on the 3rd day. The 3rd day is not Tuesday. The 3rd day is 3 days after the new moon, and as explained, 13th April was the new moon, and the 3rd day after the April the 13th, that of course started the new month. That would be the 3rd day. Okay, that was the 3rd day of the new moon. Yeah, so fine. That's yeah. So it came about on the 3rd day, when it was morning, that there were thunder and lightning flashes and a thick cloud upon a mountain and a very loud trumpet sound, so that all the people were in that camp trembled. Imagine when people hear that trumpet blowing. God's trumpet blowing on the day of the rapture. That will also be the start of the tribulation. Yeah. So I don't know if the fact, what is name, if one can pray for the rapture. Actually, if we pray for the rapture, then you actually ask God to start the tribulation, because God, Yeshua, will rescue us out of the situation. We will escape the tribulation. If you will indeed obey my voice and keep my commandment, then you shall be my own people amongst people. And finally, the Hebrews arrived then at Mount Sinai, also known as Mount Horeb or Jebel al-Lawas, Las. Yeah, this mountain, contrary to many people, to many who place it in Sinai's peninsula, is actually in Midian, or called Saudi Arabia, the land of Moses' father-in-law Jethro. You can find that in Exodus 3 verse 1. It is here that the actual wedding ceremony takes place. Now, for the 4 items in here, I'll include that in an ancient Jewish wedding for you, and similar to what will happen with us at the time when we will be raptured. In fact, our life story already present these 4 items. At every Jewish wedding, there are several items that are part of the ceremony, which is called a mikvah. Now, a mikvah, and they stood under the mountain, Exodus 19:17. Yeah, so that was the mikvah, and then they stood under the mountains. They stood under the mountain, Exodus 19:17. Now, that is the covering of the huppah, if you call that. Now, a ketubah, a contract, is a written contract or marriage agreement. The 2 copies of the 10 commandments, 1 copy for the husband and 1 for the wife. Now, Abba Father trusted his bride so fully, both copies were given for her to hold and keep. Exodus 21-17. Yeah. Now, the 4th one is a sign, a visible, tangible expression of love. Abba instituted the Sabbath as a weekly sign that he and his name is the Lord of hosts, the Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth. Abba is clearly described as the Hebrews' true husband. In the same way, Yeshua, Jesus, is a true husband of the bride of Christ. So Abba, father, married Israel. But as you learn in ancient history, that Abba gave Israel a bill of divorce because of her disobedience. But he didn't left her. They refused. They rejected his only begotten son. Abba Father sent him to his own people, and they rejected him. And therefore, Abba gave them a bill of divorce. But Abba is not finished with them. In the millennium reign, Abba will pay his attention back to Israel again. And we will rule and reign with those that are the bride of Christ. Only the bride of Christ will rule and reign with Yeshua in the millennial reign. So that is it for today. Please do read Exodus 23 from verse 20 about his blessings and obey his instructions, and you will see how blessed you are. May I ask you this question: why are the Jews so blessed? It's because they celebrate the feast. They do obey the Sabbath day, although at present time the Sabbath day is not Saturday at all. It is according to Abba's calendar, not according to the Gregorian calendar, people. Okay, be blessed.